Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I decided to do an update on the week. It's Thursday and we're about 2 hours away from the New York Open at this moment. I'm on oil, but we'll get back to this. I want to go straight away to the dollar index. So the dollar index didn't do what I expected it to do in the first 2 or 3 days of the week. That's okay because I laid out this other option on the table as well. So we were around here on, let's say Monday. And I said, this is going to be a pullback. We're going to come finish this structure here and then more upside. Well, that didn't happen. And it's consolidating here up the top. We broke this high. We had already done it Friday last week. So at this point, the chances of this going up from here and then delivering that major move to the downside next week are higher than it coming down from here. So this can happen between tomorrow and today and tomorrow. Sorry, there's news coming out on Friday. I think it's a PPI. I did mention at the beginning of the week that this week would have been slow, which it did. But I also gave you another trading opportunity on the yen pairs, which turned out to be a very good one. So let's finish with the dollar. So I'm expecting this to be a range upside completion, and then from here it can either go and then come back for this move, or it can break the stop slightly and then come back for this move. So if you don't want to take this, I understand. It's understandable to focus on the up move that comes later on in time, but that could be in 10 days, right? We don't know that. Could be in 3 or 4 days or 10 days. So maybe next week or even the week after that, right? So at the moment, I would skip this. But you do want to get the upside at the same time, right? What if this goes all the way until here? So the sell on the euro dollar is actually not a bad idea, right? So the problem with the sell on the euro dollar is that ideally you would actually like this to come here, right? Stay below this low. So sorry, give you a lower high than this one, and even more ideally if you have a divergence, internal divergence, right? So lower highs, higher highs. And that would signify a really nice move to the downside on the euro dollar, right? So we need to, the only thing we can do now is follow this without trading it and wait for the best option to trade it. I did, as said a minute ago, give a nice yen on the trade on the yen pairs. So we should go and see it. So I did mention on Monday that we were expecting a down move because this looked like a 1, 2, 3 correction. And I hope someone got this. This would have been Tuesday, or at least this. This would have been yesterday. So I did mention, given the conflict between euro and dollar, I did mention the idea of skipping the euro yen and the dollar yen if you don't feel comfortable in trading those, given this, and go for the pound yen and CAD yen, which turned out to be quite nice actually. We can look at those. The pound yen had, let's go on the 1 hour. You can clearly see there was a really nice setup on the pound yen at the end of the Asian session, over the end of the Asian session on Tuesday, beginning of the London session. So this would have been your buy here, a very good one. You had a very nice correction, 1 to 3. Sorry, my drawing skills are what they are. So break of the trend, and that would have been your buy. Then you had another correction here, and same time of the day, mess in the Asian session. It looked like it started the move in the Asian session. Well, it actually did, because your stop would have been here. So on this pullback, you would have added, right? But if you were trading, you're not trading the Asian session, and you're in the London and New York session, you would have still had a buy opportunity here, right? Which you had. So you had two buy opportunities on the pound yen, and of course, all the other yen pairs did the same. But just because of the you never know which goes best. You always want to divide your risk and potential in more than one yen pairs. Although usually when the yen pairs move, they all move. Some might overperform the others, but you're kind of always looking at a yen move, right? And CAD yen had the same exact thing. Trade here and a trade here, and if you pull dollar yen and euro yen, they would have exactly the same thing, them as well. So this is a dollar yen, one trade here and one trade here, and the euro yen would be one trade here and one trade here. The euro went really well, like the pound. Now on this move at the break of the stop, you would have maybe even consider closing the trade, because you don't know how far this is going to go, right? Now we need to switch time frames, because you do have divergence confirmed on the 1 hour, right? So we need to go to a bigger time frame if we want to look for one more up. So we're going to go on the 2 hours. You can clearly see, if you look at the moving averages, that the 20 is above the 50, above the 80, and the 50 is crossing the 200. So we let this correction complete. It could come deeper, even possibly to this area, which is the high of the previous week, and this would be an ideal buy for one more up, actually. So I don't think this is going to happen today, but you might want to keep an eye on it, because as you can see on the way up, there is no divergence. So one upside more is expected on all of the yen pairs. Pound yen, yes. Dollar yen, not the best. Euro yen looks better. CAD yen, yes. And Swiss yen, yes. And Aussie and New Zealand, they're gone, so forget it. Well, New Zealand, no, actually. New Zealand is still in play. But Swiss, CAD, and pound are good. So now let's go back to oil. Still consolidating. It's too early to say that this is the end of the upside. I'm sure some of you will remember that I published on TradingView and on my profile, which is Profxedge, published a buy on oil here. The last one that I published, it went to target, but I didn't close all my positions. I kept some because I think the upside can still be there. Let's see, 1 second, go back to the chart. Is this thing over right here? I'm not sure. I expected a consolidation. Now, what's the catch here? I'm on the daily, right? Let's see it a little bigger here, right? Let's keep it on oil, because I'm not going to see other things. I don't think other things are interesting, so I'll keep it on oil and end the session with oil, hopefully in under 12 minutes. So what are we doing here? Well, we have a 1 on the daily, right? We have 1, 2, 3-piece structure, right? Break of the top here, slightly above the previous month's high, which is a good sign. So we broke out of the previous month's high, but then we're going back inside of it now, right? And this would be diverging, right? Because the divergence is pretty big here. But the catch here is that this daily histogram in the red is incomplete. We cannot call it a cross as yet because the day has another 12 hours to finish, right? So by the end of the day, this whole candle could have reversed, and when the price of oil could be WTI could be back over the 66 area, and at which point this red cross would transform in a green. This wouldn't be here anymore. This would transform in a green, and you would have, two weaker or three possible weaker histogram. I just said Instagram. Histogram bars, but that would be a pullback, basically, just like this, right? You have a series of deeper green, darker green histogram that signals a weakness in momentum on the MACD, right? But then the move continues. Same here, right? Now, how far is this going to go? Well, that we don't know. But if we do get a 1 hour setup at this point, we will try and get it. Because on the daily, you can see that the 20 period exponential moving average is above the long term, right? And as I go lower in the time frame, you can see that on the 12 hour, for instance, all my moving averages, 20, 50, 80, are aligned one on top of the other above the long term. So this signals daily 12-hour up move. Uptrend, right? 4 hour, same, clearly. But we are having a correction, right? Because we are aligned one on top of the other here and here, but now we're correcting, right? See here we crossed, right? But with a 20. But pretty much the 50 stayed all the period, except maybe something here above the 80, right? And all of them clearly above the longer term 200, right? So this is where I would be looking for a buy setup again for one more high. So keep an eye on it, right? Now, if I go on the smaller time frames, we don't have divergence on the MACD, right? In fact, we have converging downside, right? So we don't have anything that tells us upside right here, right? At minimum, we would have to go here, come back in the green, come back down in the red, and to give us that divergence. So I don't think the buy is happening today. Probably after this move down today, we're going to correct. We're going to get another move down tomorrow, most likely, and then Monday we can resume the upside. So I don't think we're going to get an upside today, unfortunately. That's okay. You had a sell setup. That wasn't a bad idea if anyone took it, because you have a cross here, right? You even have, let's see if we have it on the very small time frame. Yeah. Good. So you have a break of the trend here and a correction underneath it. And this is your sell setup. And that's another sell setup. And you are performing this. Well, you're overperforming that. So that's a sign of more downside. But this setup, I wouldn't take. I would wait for a bigger one. And if it does go, I would still get the next one. I would still wait for a correction and get the next one. So yes, a little more downside on oil, but we're not total downside as yet. We definitely have to see how the daily close is going to be and the weekly close as well, right? So we don't have a buy. We're currently in sells. We don't have a buy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the buy is over. that the buys are over, right? So let's see how the day ends, and also let's see the 12-hour and where it ends, and let's see how far back inside we're going in the previous week and in the month. The month also ends in this week. So let's check the candles. So let's say we had a really good January, upside January, and something insignificant in terms of monthly candle in February, but this screams divergence on the monthly, right? It's internal. That doesn't mean it can still come down. This could also grow deeper, but it doesn't look that way, right? As of here, as of here, especially this talks divergence. It seems we would be coming for a monthly cross, right? At least, which means we need a bigger consolidation on the upside here. So I think more upside at this moment. So let's see the daily close, especially, and tomorrow's, and we'll see when are we looking for a good up trade from here. Well, on the 1 hour, we're not there yet because we don't have a turn. Even if I pull up the RSI, you can see here, for instance, in the previous up trade, you had a cross of the RSI and a pullback, right? Which was a perfect entry. And you are, you are in the correct, sorry, I couldn't find the word. You are in the correct RSI regime, right? So you would be trading the reset, basically, right? And that's a good one. Here we're far below this, which looks like a bigger time frame move, right? But you would still observe it, monitor it, because this is what you could get, right? And this would be your trade. So that would mean next week, all considered. I will make an educational video on the US, on the use of the RSI together with the exponential moving averages as a trading framework, but I cannot make it today. But for sure, I'll make it next week. I'll try and make it next week as an objective. It would be ideal. I want to try and make it when there's a trade happening, so we can observe it as it is happening. That would be ideal. Hopefully, I can work my schedule around it. So good to have you here. Also today, it's a pleasure to be here and try and be useful in some way. Again, I don't think we're going to get any good trades today, but keep an eye for more upside on the yen pairs and possibly between today and Monday, and keep an eye on the dollar index and oil in terms of monitoring. Okay, have a good end of the week, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.